is stronger, Boros or Garou? The answer is pretty obvious. So I've come up with an alternate version of comparing them. We will make a list of all the forms and see which one would beat which. Because come on guys, I can just give you the answer now, which you probably also know, and yeah, it's not fun. Let's have fun here, okay? Before we begin, let's state some rules. First of all, we are picking the strongest / latest version of the form. The reason is because the forms themselves get power boost. So as an example, the monster Garou from chapter 151 is not nearly as strong as the one from chapter 161, even though they are the same form. And of course, we are taking away the ability that Garou has to basically become stronger each fight or during fights. So yeah, Garou gets stripped of his Saiyanhood. Okay, so let's begin with the least strongest form, the one that would get defeated by his enemy, which is human form Garou. Yeah, that was pretty obvious, but yeah, in terms of raw strength, I would say he is a bit weaker than Tank Top Master, but his martial arts, aka Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist, boosts his overall power significantly. He defeated countless high ranking heroes and of course a couple of S rank heroes. He mostly played with Metal Bed. He defeated Tank Top Master, but Watchdog Man was a bit too much for him. Even though he is very formidable, he places last with this chart and would get obliterated by Armored Boros. Next up, above that, we got Red Eye / Blood Eye Garou. In this form, Garou experiences his first limit breaking power boost. His power increases significantly to the point he could most likely rival Genos at that time. He also has Watchdog's fighting style in his arsenal at that point, but Royal Ripper was too much for him. Very strong, but again, Armored Boros would not have to do much to kill him. Now above that, we have Half Monster Garou. In this form, he goes through a lot of power-ups, but we will take the strongest version of his form like we did with the others. He is able to tank Overgrown Rover's blast, and afterwards fought Gyoro for a brief moment and seemed more powerful than her. After that, he fought with Orochi and hanged in there, but of course Orochi wasn't trying to kill him and wasn't really going all out, and even suppressed Orochi proved to be too much for him. He fought Darkshine too, but got overpowered by him. I would say this is the first form of Garou to be able to give Armored Boros a run for his money, but I do think Armored Boros still is stronger and would win the fight. Now, this next one was pretty tough, because we don't actually have concrete feats of Armored Boros. It's hard to power skill him. People say that he tanked a normal punch of Saitama, but others would say his armor tanked it. And I would somewhat agree with the second statement, because we saw how Released Boros handled a normal punch, which took his arm out, and he is supposed to be way stronger than Armored Boros. But because he is the big boss, he has to be, to me at least, stronger than the 3 generals in the ship, and they were no joke. But that's why I think Armored Boros will be placed here. Stronger than Half Monster Garou, but slightly weaker than Spiral Garou, right in between. But again, this is logic mixed with some headcanon, so he can be placed one higher or lower. This is just my opinion. Above that, we have Spiral Garou. In this form, he broke his limiter and got such a power boost that he could basically fight with Darkshine. And he was eventually going to defeat him, but Tatsumaki stepped in and stopped the fight. But the defeat was more on the psychological side, to be fair. But I do believe that Garou was powerful enough to damage Darkshine, which is a very crazy feat. And above that, we have Released Boros, a being capable of tanking normal punches. Though they heavily damage him, he can regenerate super fast if he just focuses his energy on the wound. And he had firepower to basically destroy the entirety of City A, just straight up a beast. You do not want to fight someone like him, he would destroy Spiral Garou. Now above Released Boros, again, this one can be controversial, but I think Monster Garou can defeat Released Boros. Monster Garou defeated Full Power Bomb and Full Power Bang. He developed Godslayer Fist, which is basically next to peak martial arts. He was stronger and as fast, if not faster, than Flashy Flash. He was stronger than Platinum as best villain ever. which was stronger than Golden S, which was stronger than Darkshine. So you can see the leaps. He even defeated Sage Centipede by splitting the bastard. He was also able to dodge some of Saitama's punches and tanked a few normal hits, but Saitama did shatter his arm with a headbutt, but he regenerated and his martial arts is just on a whole other level, something Boros doesn't have. So as you can see, the man is just a straight up monster. Release Boros wouldn't win the fight, but would definitely damage Monster Garou a lot. Above that, we have second monster form Garou. He basically is Monster Garou but stronger, faster and more durable. I will say that his durability is better than Meteoric Burst Boros, but I think though his regeneration is close to Meteoric Burst Boros, I don't think it's quite there yet. Plus his attack potency is not at Meteoric Burst Boros' level in my opinion. I think their fight would be very competitive and Boros will be suffering a lot of blows because of the next to perfect martial arts of Garou, but as you know, Boros, his collapsing star roaring cannon will be more than enough to kill Garou. Though people will say it will be a draw because all Boros' energy will be zapped out and he would die, I do think that he did that to satisfy himself and go out like a king with Saitama, basically ending his book with a phenomenal fight because he had a similar life to Saitama when it comes to not finding someone worthy or someone as strong as him. But yeah, that backfired when he realized Saitama's way above him. So basically what I'm trying to say in this hypothetical is that Boros just wants to win and live on, so I think he will use not every drop of his energy in the attack and leave some for him to survive. But again, take this with a grain of salt. But even without the collapsing star roaring cannon, I do believe that Boros' attack potency and regeneration is good enough to be able to last a long time and tire out or eventually crack the skin of second monster form Garou, in my opinion. Now, the next one will be very difficult and more on the controversial side, but let's start comparing the two. Defense, I would have to give that to Garou. The reason is because he handled the normal punches better than Boros did. Though you can say it's because Saitama was holding back because he didn't want to kill Garou. To me, based on how much damage the punches did towards the surrounding area, I do think that it was on a normal punch level. That's why I give defense towards Garou. Regeneration goes to Boros. I don't think Garou would ever regenerate the damage Boros took to the consecutive normal punches. That is some next level shit. Martial arts, of course, third form Garou, like 100 to 0, no questions at all. Third form Garou takes that. Attack potency, I think Boros. The reason is because of the punch he gave Saitama. It literally destroyed a huge part of the ship, which was the size of City A. So yeah, and if he can dish out those punches a lot, yeah, that'll be a huge problem. And of course, if he gets back towards the corner, he always has collapsing star roaring cannon, which is planetary or surface planetary level if you take the manga. Now speed, I will have to give it to third form Garou, but it's close. People are sleeping on Boros' speed. My man was so fast, he was melting everything around him. But I do believe Garou is faster in terms of combat speed, which is what really counts here. But okay, now if we have all that out of the way, which one would win in a fight? I would say Boros, and the reason is because of his attack potency, and let me explain. Boros can pretty much dish out normal punch level attacks. Now Garou's defense is better than Boros, but not by much, because Garou took like consecutive normal punches plus 2 extra normal punches to basically crack him open. Wow, Boros took consecutive normal punches. He had to take that to be quote unquote cracked, basically decimated, but he came back from that. So if you can only spam those level of attacks, which I don't believe Garou has at that moment, you can't really defeat him. And I believe that though Garou is faster than Boros, I do think Boros can still probably hit him a couple of times in the dragged out fight they will have. And
as you can see of the sheer power his punches back, I think consecutive Boros punches and Garou is out of the count. But don't get me wrong, those punches would take a long time, a very long time to hit eventually. But in the meantime, I do believe Garou would be getting pretty much messed up with majority of the time. But eventually, his regeneration is what will help him win the fight. But again, if that isn't enough, he always has his collapsing star roaring cannon, which I don't believe Garou will survive that shit.
But either way can go above, depending on what scans you read, depending on if you want to take the manga or the anime. It has so many different factors and opinions, but this doesn't matter. Because above these two forms, at number 1 is Cosmic Fear Garou. He would just destroy Boros. It's not even a question. You would literally one shot, aka one punch Boros. One serious punch is enough. Like, the power of Cosmic Fear Garou is just beyond logic. You know, it's just crazy. And if you thought Boros would be at this level, then read the manga again. Because it's very obvious that Garou is stronger. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, keep existing.